What's up, YouTube? It's your boy DR2727. Shout out to my Transformers collectors, 1/12 scale collector, whatever you collect, shout out to you. And this month's video for March 2023 is the 10 figures I wish Flames Toys would work on. And this is off the heels of them releasing their Rodimus this year in January, which was a stamp that say, hey, we are back and back with a vengeance. That figure's fantastic. I did a review on it. Don't go watch it because that wasn't a really good review. But they came out swinging with their Rodimus, and it just reinvigorated my love for Flames Toys. So if you're new, what Flames Toys releases, and I'm talking about the Kuro Kara, the 3K line, the Kuro Kara Kuri line, and it is IDW Transformers with a stylized flair. And just think of them as being the hot toys of Transformers. And yes, they are expensive, but they are worth the money most times. I think it's one where I was disappointed in. But this list reflects a shut up and take my money type approach. Before we get started, I want to give an honorable mention, and my honorable mention is Overlord. And for a character that has his own arc in the More Than Meets the Eye storyline and was the main villain in The Last Stand of the Records, a character so important. The reason I got him ranked so low is because of his size. With Flames Toys already at the $300-400 price range, a character who's probably 3-4 times the size of a normal Flames Toys figure, I have to question how much he would cost. And I very rarely talk about price, but I think that this is one of the ones that's bordering on $700, if not more. Like, they would have to do this in pieces and combine it. And we've seen with the Star Saber that doesn't work too well. But I would love to see them tackle this. I just know the actual logistics and kind of the cost around it probably keeps them from doing this. Number 10 on my list is Star Drive, and I know that she's from an obscure comic book, but she's probably the breakout character in her comic book and a super cool character in general. And Flames Toys should tackle her because it, one, gives them a female. Two, it kind of celebrates all of IDW, where we don't need another character from the Run series. Three, it lets them get outside of their how they paint their figures, their color wheelhouse. They normally paint in blacks, purples, reds, and whites, and it's let them explore a character that's blue, and I think they can knock it out the park with that. And four, it lets them do some cool stuff, like they can use her vampire effects. They can add some real cool effects and swap out pieces for her to make her really premium. And also, because of her rum outfit and her rum armor, it can give them an excuse to do a repaint. And there's no other version of her in action figure form, so that'll be cool too. Number 9 on my list is Impactor, and he's not as obscure as Star Drive. He's actually pretty popular, but we need a representation of the Wreckers. And I know that Hasbro and MMC have done versions of Impactor, but I think that Flames Toys should tackle it too, because they're tackling these IDW versions of characters. And like, it's hard for us to say we would get a full Wreckers crew. So if we can't get a full crew, let's just get the leader of the Wreckers, Impactor. He's a well-known character. He's actually aesthetically nice looking character with the purples and the yellows, and he fits into their motif. Number 8 on my list is Ultra Madness. And I know you're asking yourself, for such a keystone character, why is he so low on the list? Well, just like the Overlord, his biggest downfall is his size. He's such a big, imposing bot that if Flames Toys were to do it for the Kuro Kara Kuri line, I'm sure it would be $500 or better. Regardless of the price, it has to come with a minimalist ambush representation, whether that's a statue, whether that's a fully functioning action figure, whether that's a fully functioning action figure with a gimmick where the armor combines and makes magnets. You can see how the price quickly escalates. And I think that there are only so many characters you can ask your fandom to pay over $500 for. And I think that this is one of those characters. Number 7 for me is Brainstorm. And I think that this is a relatively easy one for them to do. It fits in their wheelhouse from a size and an aesthetic standpoint. I honestly believe he can be a remold of Hot Rod. And I believe they can kill it with the accessories, from the briefcase to the weapons and also to the gimmick where he's the double agent. I just think that this is right in their wheelhouse, and they already have kind of the base blueprint for it. And I think this will be an easy one to do that can satisfy the fandom. Number 6, we introduced the concept of a 2-pack with Chrome Dome and Rewind. Look, you can't have one without the other. And I think that it would be a big FU to the fan base if they didn't do these as a 2-pack. MMC did it with a 2-pack, and it worked pretty well. But I think that Flames Toys could take that and take it to another level. One, by making Rewind a fully functioning figure, which I'm sure they would do. And two, just the aesthetics of Chrome Dome, right? Like, how many times do you get to paint brown, orange against red and stuff like that? So I think that I would love to see aesthetically how Chrome Dome looks. And these guys don't need many accessories, so this should be a way to keep costs in line. Number 5 is Wrong. And for such an important character, he's very simplistic. He doesn't have a lot of colors in his design. He's a very slender character. So Flames Toys can go one or two ways with this. They can actually introduce the concept of a regular and a premium version like Hot Toys does. They can do a regular version, which is just basically him, couple of hands or whatever. Or they can go the deluxe route with the accessories that gives you the scooter, the matrices, the ships and stuff like that. And I think it would be interesting to see how it plays out if they did a regular and deluxe version. Number 4 is Windblade. She's arguably the most popular original character from the whole comics. You have a version of her you already done in your model kit line. And I think it'll just be a win-win to get collectors a female character who's ultra popular, who you already have experience in doing. I think this is the simplest one yet. Number 3 is the Swerve and Tailgate 2-pack. And I know that it's hard to justify releasing one of these small figures at a time. So you just combine 2 popular characters into a 2-pack. You've already announced the Cyclonus, so Tailgate can go with him or Tailgate can stay with Swerve. But if you do pair Tailgate with Cyclonus, Swerve can stand with anybody as a collector. So you've pretty much given the collectors a win-win. You've given them 2 great characters. You probably can do this under $300, maybe even $250. They don't need that many accessories. Like Tailgate really only needs hands, Swerve, just My First Blaster, and a tray of drinks. And if they do some of the characters we talked about, then you have most of Swerve's posse. Number 2 is Megatron. And to be honest with you, what's keeping him from being number 1 is the fact they've already done the Megatron. Now, granted, it isn't the Lost Light more than meets the eye looking Megatron, but they've already done that character. And it's hard for me to get excited for it. But to be fair, they already have a Rodimus. So if you're a minimalist person, you can have Rodimus and Megatron displayed, which is, the Lost Light captains. Megatron against Torn. You can have that scene there. You can do so much with Megatron. So I will give you that they do need a Lost Light more than meets the eye Megatron. And if you do a Megatron, you could probably do a retool and have a Terminus too. And you can kind of walk Megatron's full path in that comic with basically the same figure. And the character I would most like to see flames towards Kuro Kara line tackle is Whirl. Granted, Whirl's an important character, but more so than that, he's a very interesting looking character, from the sky blue color, from the chicken legs, from the Imperator where he has the shockwave face and the claw hands. Nobody has really tackled him good. Yes, I know MMC has a version of him, but it looks nothing like the character. And I think that Flames Toys could really knock it out the park. I think that one of the biggest issues is the fact that he may not be able to stand with the chicken feet. Flames Toys overcomes that already by including a stand. They've already introduced a Cyclonus. Him and Cyclonus are frenemies, and you can make a display of just them. They can give you an alternate head from before when he looked like a normal robot. There's just so many cool things about such a cool character they can do, and I think that it's an interesting character to look at, an interesting character to tackle. And I think that no IDW collection can be complete without a Whirl. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what characters you would like to see Flames Toys 3K line tackle. As always, I appreciate it. Thank you.